Welcome to Chem Time.
Hello viewers, welcome to the YouTube presentation on safety in chemical industries. To stress upon the importance of safety in chemical industries, we felt it necessary to have video lectures of people having experience in different industries. And hence, today's lecture will be from one of my students, Mr. Krishna Prasad, who is currently working as a consultant psychologist for industries like NTPC, that is National Thermal Power Corporation, and JSPL, that is Jindal Steel Plant Limited. And he has got his own company with the title confined. Mr. Prasad did his BTech in Chemical Engineering, Masters in Petroleum Engineering, Diploma in Industrial Safety, and Masters in Psychology. He has work experience in Tata Steel for more than 3 years. And he will be covering the safety aspects of steel plant through this video lecture.
Hi, so today we are going to talk about steel plant safety and the hazards and control part 1. So in every steel plant there are quite number of hotspots where safety is on high alert, and the major concerning areas within any steel plant premises would be confined space, electrical safety, working at height, and the chemical zones. So here in this part 1 we are going to talk about confined spaces. So confined spaces, the areas, hazards and control measures under this section are as follows. Confined space. What is a confined space? That is a space which has limited or restricted means of entry and is not designed for continuous occupancy and is large enough and configured so that a person can enter the space and maneuver well enough to perform tasks. Areas comes under confined space are tanks, pits, chimneys, boilers, silos, underground sewers, tunnels, wells, culverts, trenches, pipeline, septic tank, etc. So causes for confined space hazards: fall from height and slippery surfaces, toxic gas present inside a confined space, fault in evacuation and rescue, the mental condition of the worker, poor visibility, wrong and adverse direction from supervisor, improper and insufficient PPE. And confined space hazards, just like we have talked about before, the mechanical hazards, communication problems, entry and exit, and general and physical, then comprises of thermal effect, noises, vibrations, surface residues, structural hazards, fall hazards, engulfment hazards. And the basic hazard is atmosphere, because in a confined space the atmosphere is not available. So oxygen deficient atmospheres are 19.5 or less than the volume. Oxygen enriched atmospheres, for example, greater than 23.5% by volume. And flammable atmospheres, toxic atmospheres. Do you know the level of seriousness due to shortage of oxygen? If it's 19.5% is the minimum acceptable oxygen level. If it's less than that, then it could cause impaired coordination, 15 to 19%. If it's 12 to 14%, it might cause an impaired judgment. If it's 10 to 12%, respiratory problems might increase and your lips turns blue. 8 to 10%, mental failure, or there is a cause of unconsciousness, nausea or vomiting. If it's 6 to 8%, it's fatal. So it's recommended to ensure oxygen levels before entering into any confined space. Next, hazards of oxygen enriched atmospheres. Till now we have talked about oxygen deficient atmospheres. If it is enriched, what might happen? It could cause burn violently when ignited. Materials such as hair, clothing, oil-soaked materials can cause the fire. Never use oxygen to ventilate or store compressed tanks in confined space. Flammable atmospheres. Critical factors. Oxygen content in the air, flammable gases or vapors, flammable dust, toxic atmospheres comes under, gases released when cleaning, materials absorbed into the walls while painting, scraping, sanding, etc., welding, cutting, brazing, soldering, or decomposing of materials in any confined space. Do you know, air-gas mixture can lead to explosion. Typical ignition sources, sparking or electrical installation wiring, electrical tools, etc., can cause explosion. So basic control measures. Common factors in confined space fatalities are as follows. When the confined space is involved while entering an exist confined space, to recognize is the biggest failure. Tendency to trust physical senses. Second, complacent attitude. Third, attempt to save a co-worker. 4. So measures one must need to keep in mind while working in a confined space are: they should be adequately trained workers. Confined spaces will differ from unit to unit for any steel factory premises. Adequately trained evacuation and rescue team must be kept ready. The team head should take full responsibility and accountability of the safe working operations. Systematic flow which needs to be considered are as follows. Task specifications, and then hazard identification, planning levels, job allocation to trained persons, hazard pre-testing and surface testing at site, atmospheric review, PPE, ensure ventilation, rescue standby, alert system, second line supervisory level monitoring, control from the commanding authority.
I'm thankful to Mr. Prasant for his valuable insight on the safety aspects of steel plant. In the next video presentation, Mr. Prasant will be covering the electrical safety in steel plant. With this, we conclude the presentation. Thank you.
Request you to like, share, and subscribe my channel.